Oh, I've done it before. Paul used to dump 6-7 ounces of beer into that tray.
Because of the heads.
Yeah.
Nice.
I need to tap it in, into some sort of a waste stream. Extra beer.
Great.
No. God, I used to work for this coffee company where you great right where that used to be.
Coffee? What?
Yeah, man. And you would dump the tray out in just do fucking
So sick.
disgusting. Yeah, you were get them.
He wanted me to pour too, but I said I work at a bike shop. I can't. One do at a time.
Just takes his sweet time out there.
Yeah, Scarlett's saying hi to everybody but me, apparently.
Say hi to me.
Honestly,
she might if I wasn't paying attention. A little out
Not
of it.
fair. Why didn't she like me?
I got a long shot on the mints.
I feed her for Christ's sake. Well, I don't feed her, actually. Hi!
Hi!
There it is. Leave that. We can leave the door open, by the
Did you
way.
even text that you were inbound?
You
No, he didn't.
I'm inbound.
What's this shirt?
Oh, it's just
things are getting
it's
out of control.
the guy that I was trained under, bike PT over in Seattle.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the shirt.
Man, the shirt is hard to blush. It's just need to order a ton of them.
Really?
But I mean, you have the stuff to print them on. These are Club Ride.
I can't print white. I can't transfer white unless I got those patches things.
Yeah,
But that's gray.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I could do that if it was the patches. Yeah, you can't sublimate white.
Because it's technically the absence of something, right?
It's the absence of color. Yeah. Yeah, help yourself. I bought those at the grocery store today. They're actually not bad. They're no Haribos, but they're pretty good. There are no Haribos, but they're pretty good.
Oh,
Gummy bears?
Oh.
Yeah. 2.5 pound bag for $9. Is that expensive?
No, it's a good deal.
Oh.
See, they're not bad.
Calorie for the $1, that's a pretty good deal.
Seriously, that is like.
You know what?
That's
should
good money.
We don't technically have a question for you. We should just talk about the performance. Why do cyclists eat gummy bears after rides?
I saw that in the tour. They literally handed somebody a handful.
And it bothers me because they just shove a full handful into their faces. They don't pick and choose like I do. I mean, I pair my gummy bears. I'm like, okay, I'll eat a red and a green. Okay, now I'll eat a yellow and a white. I'll eat the red and a yellow.
You weird.
What are you putting in front of his now? Oh my God, you're such a bitch.
What do you want?
He's the best.
He is the best.
You should have seen mine.
Pilsner. I want to get pervy.
You want to get pervy?
It's so good this time of year.
What?
The Kolsch or the pills?
Was that your phone?
Was that your phone?
Was that your phone?
No, it's mine.
Turn it the fuck off.
That's why you can hear it, because it's so loud.
What happened?
Got hooked up on your little.
Did it get unhooked?
Yeah,
though?
it's like
Okay. Oh,
like-
okay.
my big fat Greek wedding there.
There's another reference
I
nobody's gonna get. Do you need that?
Yeah. I can pretend.
We're getting a crazy shot of only Sam's eyes.
Sam staring,
he's right
just staring at the gummy bears.
There you go.
Oh, so I can't go. Well, I could start right now and just say fuck it, right?
I mean, technically, it is going.
You want me to just stare into the...
Well, I don't do ads at the onset of the show anymore, so we just hit the theme now. Paul's advertising for us right now. Look at the scratch logo on his back. That's a cool shirt.
It's an old one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a really
The way he stood there, just like a lifeless
Yeah.
corpse,
Scratch, bring
like a
that one
video game
back.
character.
No, that's like the...
Scratch, bring that one back. Dark charcoal, kind of a shirt, gray logo. That's cool.
Camera where they kill the kids. You know this? Like the kids would be standing in the corner. What am I talking about?
I don't know, but you should shut up because the theme's playing.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Which project? Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project.
Oh, where he's staring in the back corner. Messed up. Well, if anyone had Ineos having their best success in the mountain bike world on their cycling bingo cards, you automatically win whatever you are playing for. The Olympics are underway, and if you're like me, you already are sick of gymnastics and watching way more swimming and volleyball than you ever do. Sam just spilled his beer right out of the fucking gates. Welcome to the Packfiller Podcast. I'm your host, and I really don't like spilled beer
Sam Wade
or constant gymnastic coverage. My name's Pat Holger. With me tonight are the cast of characters, your panel of pundits, your gaggle of gonads, and Sam, the shithead spiller of suds. Maybe not the gonads one. Actually, remember when I broke one of the logo pints doing the same thing? So I just want you to know that I take advantage of the situations when I can, and I ridicule because I'm petty. If you are live with us on our YouTube channel or on the homepage at packfiller.com, you know the answer of who is here. But either way, we are going to start tonight's show with the question I have to repeat because Sam went to the bathroom to wipe his pristine little white hands off. The prologue question: what, in your opinion, gentlemen, is a sport that doesn't get enough credit that you would watch if it was more available? David, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, Sam, prologue question. What is a sport that, in your opinion, doesn't get enough credit that you would watch if it was more available? Okay, so number one, he's probably one of the people that got the Greek reference in the opening ceremonies and was not offended, Mr. Paul Main.
Yes.
Did you see that? Did you see that moment? It was, everybody thought it was, we thought it while we were watching it, that it was like a Last Supper kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, and I, as a theater teacher, didn't clue into the fact that it was the Festival of Dionysus, which is a Greek festival where theater originated in the country where the Olympics originated, and people lost their fucking shit.
They made it look like the Last Supper.
Because they thought they were doing drag queens in the Last Supper, which, by the way, I am a Catholic. I teach at a Catholic high school. Didn't bother me at all. Yeah, there you go. How are you, man?
Good.
What is a sport that you think does not get enough credit that you would watch if it was more available? And you can't pick cycling or track cycling.
No. I would have to say, what is that called? Cornhole. Just because it's fun to say.
Yeah.
Not that it's an exciting thing.
You know, I've seen it on a couple random
I know.
TV channels before.
I know.
Yeah, there's a pro league for it.
Yeah. I think I'd rather watch that than poker.
Yeah.
Who sits around and watches poker?
Yeah, I don't know.
I love that you picked cornhole.
Yeah.
I love that you picked cornhole. That's just funny because watch out for the cornhole. He's probably next off. He's probably one of the guys that would never stop chanting USA, USA, even though the people around him begged him to fucking stop. Mr. Sam Waples. You're right. I'm right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm the person that's just I find that so obnoxious when we have like back-to-back World War champion shirts and stuff like that. Like I find that so obnoxious, and yet here I am like every time we vote for something, USA, USA. It's like I'm the problem. I'm the problem. It's
you
me.
are.
Yeah.
What's your sport that you would watch more of if it were available on the Ocho?
I think bowling. I've found it a few times. It's entertaining. Yeah. Have you ever seen like one of those like strike throwing contests? The guy just broke the record. He did like 17 strikes in 2 minutes.
Whoa.
Huh?
Wouldn't that be, what's a perfect game? I don't even know what a
300.
Yeah,
but
so
how many
it's
strikes
10
is
or
that?
11.
It takes all of them.
10?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
12, I think. You have two.
So if he threw
frames at the end of it,
17,
but I'm
He's
not
had a
bowler.
perfect game.
Yeah, but I think it's 10, and then that would be the 11 because it'd be the 2 frames at the 10th.
No, that's true.
I don't know, honestly. Somebody's
get
going
two
to add
if
us
you-
for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bender wants us to watch more dog sledding.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that would be good, too.
Third, he's probably someone who would attend the Olympics as a spectator, have an inexplicably amazing time until he realized he was downwind of Snoop Dogg. Mr. David Waples. That was so much fun. I had so much fun. Why did I have so much fun? Oh. You know, have you seen his, everybody hands out pins? Snoop's got pins
got
that
the
the smoke rings he's blowing are the Olympic rings.
That's
Oh my.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is so.
I assume
cool.
weed's legal in France.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
I didn't call you a pot smoker, David. I don't want to get you fired or anything like that.
Well, I'm unemployed at the moment, so can't get fired.
All right. Good for you.
Yep.
Dr. David's segment tonight, sponsored by GoFundMe.
Yep. I need a paycheck.
What's your sport?
Have you guys ever watched longboarding? Like downhill? The people that do like the
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm
I've
talking about?
seen the
It's
clips
actually
of
like
it.
really
Skateboard
crazy.
longboarding?
Yeah.
Either that or like I find myself on
Oh, the videos, like where they're just like they're
Hauling
grinding
down
their
it, yeah.
hands on the
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
pavement.
yeah,
Yes.
they got the pad. The
That's
metal
scary
pads.
shit.
That or skateboarding in general. Like I find skateboarding fun to watch.
I watched some
Freaking
last night.
hooligan.
I watched some last night, and it was like all this prep, and they're just standing around. And I said to my wife, I said, he's brooding like Batman. There's a kid who's just standing there staring at stuff all serious, and they're keeping the camera on him for like 10 minutes. And then he finally goes, he does a rail for like maybe a little over a second. And everybody's losing their fucking minds. That we waited for that?
I did see, I will say.
What the hell?
I saw a
Unbelievable!
I saw a video on Instagram that was talking about how like this comes around every 4 years, and it's what it shows is just a guy, like a rather large individual sitting on their couch going, I could do that.
No, I'm not
Every year.
that. Don't take me as that.
Yeah. I won't take you as that.
Sarcasm heavily painted. Next off, he's the only one in the room that can name at least 5 soccer players on the men's and women's big team, Mr. Jack Soldier.
His wife's there.
Really bummed by that.
Can't. Yeah. Can you, Jackson?
I can't on the men's.
I was gonna say the men's
Because
is definitely out.
For men's, it is they have
Under
to play
23 or something like that,
yeah,
right?
and you can have like 2 or 3 players over that age.
Which is not fair. If
No,
everybody else
it-
is going to do it, it's like when we went to the pros in basketball. It was like, well, the other countries pay their athletes. Well, it's like, well, fine, then we'll put it in our pros. And
Yeah.
then we crushed it. Why can't we do that here? We wouldn't crush
my
it.
wife-
We wouldn't crush it with our pro men.
No, yeah.
But for the women, you can. You can do
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
pros.
Oh, this is
And
dumb.
I had heard that it has something to do with like, well, it's kind of like to see the talent up and coming as opposed to because the FIFA
Yeah.
World Cup is so big, it is the Olympics of soccer, right? So
Okay.
that's when you bring out the big. Anyway,
Jackson, what's your sport?
I really like to watch beach volleyball. That one's really fun.
Do you?
Yeah.
I actually kind of like it too.
Yeah, that's one of my
so
favorites.
impressive.
It is.
I
Are
was
you kidding me?
Yeah, I was
That's
talking about how they
insane.
have to like run in the sand and everything.
Jump.
Yeah.
Get down from the sand and then shoot up.
That
Like-
see, I took a couple goalkeeping camps when I was younger, and one thing they talk about all the time is when you go down to dive, they're like up, like you have to train yourself to get up super quickly, and that is like a crazy skill that they go down and they're back up before you even notice it. It's wild. And then I also did see on the men's side of it that there was an ex NBA basketball player who now got chosen for the Olympics to play for USA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Talk
That's
about
cool.
Wow.
an endless career.
I will address the elephant in the room. Are the women unfairly dressed?
See, I saw something about that today, and it's actually a choice. So they don't.
Yeah.
They can wear whatever they want. They can wear
Oh, really?
full
Yeah.
leggings,
Really?
or they could wear.
Yeah, there was like one of the teams was those playing the U.S. had full.
Yeah,
like-
Czech Republic had
Yeah.
full leggings on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Whatever you want.
athlete's
a lot of
choice.
ways.
Culture.
A lot of wedgies out there. I saw some today, and I was like, going, that would make me crazy. I would be reaching back there and pulling it out of my ass every time I got in there. I take wide steps when I'm it's just like, what? I'm probably the only one in this room has a strong aversion to any sport that includes glittery makeup. I'm Pat Bulger, and you know what? Actually, I forgot about this sport because I think it mildly traumatized me when I lived at the Olympic Training Center in the 80s. Was team handball. You guys know that sport?
Yeah, I know.
It's like a cross between soccer and basketball.
It's like futsal. And
But
basketball.
it's hands. Yeah. And it's just it's rough. It's more scoring than soccer. but they call penalties like basketball and stuff like that.
It's really
And
just
And
water
nobody
polo
really
on
knows
land.
Water
what's going
polo.
on.
water polo on land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And nobody really knows the rules of it. Or
I
how
don't know what the hell's
You're just
going
like,
on.
oh, it was a foul.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say it's super similar to ultimate frisbee too.
Okay.
Because isn't once you catch it, you can only take like a few steps or something.
Yeah. It
I think
is.
in ultimate frisbee
You have
can't.
to either throw it or, I mean, even if you lift a foot off the ground, it counts as
Yeah.
a step. I don't know, but I've been enjoying it.
They're bringing lacrosse next. I think the next.
Are they really?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, lacrosse is pretty cool.
When I was living at the Olympic Training Center as a junior, we shared a hallway with the women's team handball team. And I'm not going to play any, I'm not going to be mean, I'm not going to do anything like that. But they stole the furniture from the TV room when we were there. And they were tough. I mean, they were fucking strong. And we were a bunch of skinny, stupid-ass bike racers. And I'll never forget the day I was walking down the hall, and one of the team handball players was walking down the hallway with a sofa chair in her arms
Yeah.
by herself. Walked by me. I leaned against the wall to get out of the way. I walked into the TV room, and some of the future cyclists that raced in Europe were sitting on the floor in the TV room, basically holding their knees like, they just came in and took all the furniture. We couldn't stop them. That was my experience with team handball. It's like, I don't know your sport, but I ain't going to mess with you because they were tough. And we were stupid, and we had no upper body strength. So before we get too far into the show with our regular before our regular tangents, how has the last 7 days of everybody's cycling life been? I know some people have been gone. I know some people have been drinking bourbon and playing video games. I saw your fucking ride, dude. It was like, I'm going for a mountain bike ride with my friend. It was 8 miles and 1 hour.
Yeah, I know.
In Riverside.
Yeah, in Riverside. I know.
So you
It's
had
like
to
taking
drive to get there,
yeah.
and then you rode for 8 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting this friend into mountain bikes. He has like a $600 hardtail that he bought, and he's
Oh, so
been
it's your
loving
friend's fault.
Well, yeah. At one point, he was like, "Show me how fast you would normally ride if you were just out." And I just like, take off. And he goes, "Yeah, I can't do that." And I'm like, "I know. That's why we're here."
Oh, so you were being
Yeah.
nice, and I'm busting
Well,
your
yeah.
balls for being a nice
Oh
person.
yeah, whatever. I don't really care. I mean, most of my rides are pretty slow, but that one was particularly slow. Well, whenever I ride with you,
Oh, there it is.
yeah.
There it is.
to throw up the parachute.
Yeah.
We dropped Pat again. Yeah. Who's gonna go back and get him this time?
I will never forgive you.
I know.
For the day I got to the top of Pettit and you were sitting on a park bench. I was not that
I
far
did that
behind.
to him this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
You had to have clipped out super fast and ran to the bench.
No,
because I was
had
not that
minutes.
far behind you.
I had minutes.
Oh, God damn it. Paul, and what else was your cycling life like?
Well, I mean, I haven't been here for a while, but I would say overall my cycling life's been pretty awesome.
Really?
Like, I would say last Thursday was a killer race
Oh,
ride.
yeah.
It was awesome. It was fast. I when we rolled up, I'll just make that my one story. When we rolled up, I was like, guys, we're averaging 25 tonight on the course. And everybody's like, oh, okay. I mean, we had to go up that big hill.
Yeah.
And we averaged 25. It was insane how fast we went.
What was the turnout like?
I think that started with 10-ish. Maybe even,
The size?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe 10 to 12.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I don't know.
It wasn't
and
a
then
big one.
5 of us finished
Oh,
the front.
this was, for the listeners, this was, I think, 2 years ago we were talking about this on the show. This was a classic, what most communities have, a Thursday night Worlds or whatever it is.
Throwdown. TNT.
TNT,
Yeah.
Throwdown.
I call it worlds just because I want like the mentality of like every man for themselves.
And it's
Yeah.
just coming back. Is there
Yep.
anybody in particular leading it, or is it just an agreed upon?
I lead the ride. Like I
Okay.
kind of inherited it for the last 2 years, and then, but yeah, this year I actually haven't been able to make that many of them because I've had various different things. But
Yeah.
it's been fun. You should come out tomorrow. Wait, today's Tuesday.
2 days.
I
Thursday.
would come out if we did the same course again.
We'll do the same course.
Then
That's
I
the
can come
course now for the rest of the summer.
out. Nice.
Yeah.
Paul and Jackson, I owe you guys an apology But how are your 2 rides? Basically, just he's like Luke and Yoda going out, and training out there. It's just Paul's on your back going, faster you shall climb. Listen to the ways.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
Trust me, know what I am talking about.
I thought they were both really good days. I mean, Saturday we did something a little shorter because we were trying to avoid some smoke, and that was a little bit more
You
climbing.
still got about 3 hours in. Not that I'm stalking.
That was Sunday.
Sunday we did.
Oh.
Yeah. And that one was good. And then Saturday we went a little longer. Yeah, it was just fun. It was good all around. I thought we had kind of some wind working against us on Saturday for sure. But I'm feeling really good. I kind of have noticed that I'm at that point where not a lot really seems too difficult. You know what I mean?
Who's riding with me?
No.
There it is.
I even put some good efforts in on some of the climbs, and some power numbers that used to just kill me are not like killing me anymore. So I'm feeling happy about it all.
Is there anything?
No.
No, there's nothing in the future, is there?
No.
Shit.
But Paul, I bet you have perspectives of our
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday was a repeat of that one ride when we all went.
What's going on?
I found out today. I have a bad brake lever on the right-hand side,
Oh,
so you have a little return spring.
Holy.
Okay, good.
So
I was
every
waiting
time
for
I
you
hit
to
the
say
brakes,
like I have a faulty
No.
heart valve or something
No.
like that.
So I threw it up because every time I get off it and I spin the wheels, they're fine. But then when I put it up in the stand, I hit the the rear brake, and the rear brake comes in it and it doesn't retract, so one side sticks. And so through time, it finally works its way open.
That's gold.
So it's like suck.
Yeah, and so there's,
That's so bad.
and I'm thinking, why is it doing that? These are brake housing and
Yeah.
cables from a year and a half ago on my BMC because remember my frame broke
Yeah.
and I just grabbed the bars off
Yeah.
and slammed it on there and trained on it. That's also, it was having that problem.
Wait.
Get a load of this, still was having that problem during Missoula. That's been a constant problem. I thought I had it fixed in Missoula, but there's no way I could have fixed it. The thing, it's temperamental because what happens, even if you hit a bump, what happens is it just kind of springs forward.
2 questions. Number 1, is a year and a half too long for your cables and
Yeah,
housing?
I always do it at least once, twice a year.
You
Cables and
replace your
housing.
cables and housing
Yep,
once or twice a
absolutely,
year.
so I don't
Well, you
have
use the-
shit like that happening.
You use the coated ones.
I
Yes,
haven't
I do that.
replaced my
and
cables and
that's what happens.
housing.
They'll break. They get.
Yeah, mine's
You
once
know.
a year.
I haven't replaced my cables and housing in probably 5 years.
What?
I shit you not.
How does it shift now?
Fine.
No, I've heard you skip a few. So
Yeah,
that's
why
the
you're
other
so
thing.
slow.
I had problems with my gears too. Remember when you?
Right.
Takes
And
you like
that
a
was it
minute
too.
for your
I don't-
gear to
that's a-
shift.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. It's like
No, it doesn't. It's not that
Now
bad.
your front derailleur is all new because we had to fix and repair.
But that's
replace
over
that
a
line.
year old.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild.
But you're not using those coated cables. I like the
No.
coated cables, but they
They
have a really
peel
short
off.
lifespan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what's happening. They,
Yeah.
they start
Yeah,
cracking.
I don't use the coated stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Same.
Dumbasses.
I
David,
change them.
how's your cycling life been?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah. You've been world traveler, boy.
I've been traveling a lot, so it's been interrupting my desired ride schedule. But we do the Tuesdays have been a pretty dang hard morning ride. If anybody ever wants to get up at 5,
Nope.
didn't think so. And then,
No, I'm up, but I have to work.
but I'm not riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this TNT's been fun. I might do this Midnight Century on Saturday.
Oh.
Nope.
Has anybody done that before?
3 times.
Why are you saying no?
times.
Is it terrible?
Jackson's done it twice. No, it's a great ride. I know the course.
I'm
Like
just
I have the course memorized.
I'm just looking for something different. I'm like getting tired of just like river loops and
Yeah.
like the same old, same old. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll go ride at midnight.
Spokane, Washington has a classic event that is just more of a tradition than anything else. It's called the Midnight Century. It happens at midnight on the first Saturday in August. And it always starts the same place and finishes in the same place. It is completely unsupported. It is not licensed, insured, anything. People just show up and do this event. And it's fun. It's good. Jackson and I have done it twice together. And
He blew his knee in one.
yeah, the first year he
Yeah.
blew his knee.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's 100 miles. You know, it's not a metric century. It's a legit century. And it's in the middle of the night. Last time I did it was probably 2 years ago. I think I did it.
That feels right.
Yeah. And I realized my night vision wasn't what it used to be. Not to mention my battery died at about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And so I grabbed the other one, put a flashlight in my mouth, and struggled home. But it's a great ride. It is a good ride. Have proper lights, obviously.
Yeah, I've heard you need at least 2 lights.
No, you can get away. Well, I mean, you can get away with one if you have a legit battery. If you have a good battery, but I would take 2. Yeah, a headlamp and a
really great
bar lamp.
light at the 24-hour mountain
Yeah,
bike race.
somebody can, yeah. It's a good one. It is a very good one, and it's gravel. It is what I would call traditional gravel. It's
Yeah.
gravel roads. It's not mountain bike gravel. It's good.
All right, well,
It's good. It's a great tradition. We have a good cycling community here in Spokane.
that's on my maybe calendar. We'll see.
There you go.
Walla Walla, great.
Oh, yeah, well,
I'm thinking about that one too. Me, you ready for this? I got 4 days of riding on 5 different bikes
hey,
this week.
how do you do that?
Tuesday, I rode the road. Thursday, I rode the mountain bike in the day, in the morning, and then my wife and I rode the road tandem in the evening. Ended it.
In your driveway?
No, free plug for Bottle Bay Brewing. We stopped there for a beer afterwards, and then we went to what was it called? Slick Rock Burritos, and finished our tandem ride there. That was a great ride. And then Saturday, I rode my gravel bike for almost 3 hours. And then Sunday, my wife and I went on our mountain bike tandem. So I was on 2 tandems this week. And it was good. It was good.
Adds up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love my wife to death, but if she doesn't shut up our dog in the next couple minutes, I'm going to text her that and ask her to shut Bender the hell up. Have you any of you guys ever ridden a tandem?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Nope.
You do.
Love it.
Paul did once, and it did not go well.
No, not for my wife.
Yeah.
Not for my wife.
Was it sit bones, things like that? Or was it
You're
just...
close.
You're just staring at your ass.
I don't.
It-
I
no,
won't.
it was-
I'm not going to
it
say
was
the.
it was saddle issues.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pressure-related issues. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was our anniversary, which
Oh,
didn't
Jesus.
end well.
Not a good way to
So
celebrate.
that's as far as I'm going to go.
Okay. No, that's good.
God, there's pills for that.
Yeah.
Or pills
We-
for that.
We,
Not for me.
Yeah.
Michelle has to get back into the swing of things when we get back on tandems because she's like, oh, my sit bones, my groin bone is not ready for this, and so we have to. Especially
You
like
can't
our
stand
last
up
ride.
as much.
Yeah, our last ride, we'd get to the top of the hill. She's like, "You got to coast for a little bit," and so she could stand up, kind of a thing like that. And I'm sure that's all.
Did the different saddle help?
I don't know because we've only got it on one bike, but not on the other bike, and so I'm running out of days. They give you a 30-day test window, and I don't want to lose my money on this saddle.
I really think that tandem might work well for Danielle and I.
Yeah.
I think we
No, I'll ask my wife to shut him
Just
up.
time being.
we
Yeah.
have a hard time riding together sometimes, and because the differing pace
Yeah,
and
she's
everything.
so much faster than you.
She just drops me every time.
And David sits on the side of the road crying.
Yeah, but if we were like glued together, I think it would work really well.
It's I read somewhere they called it a marriage counselor because you
Get you there
arrive
faster.
at the top of every climb together, or get you to a divorce faster.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
one.
It makes or break a marriage.
It is a struggle.
It just gets you wherever you're going faster.
Jackson, you said you did.
Happy marriage.
You did.
Divorce.
I've ridden with you.
Oh, you've ridden with me.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you. I was like, I don't think you've ridden with your now wife on one.
No, we won't.
I was gonna say, would you guys if you could? No, Paul, no.
I have no problems with it. Outside of the discomfort from my wife, she did not like the speed, and she is a strong person.
The
And
fast
the
or the
speed?
it was
high
too
speed.
slow. Oh, okay,
Yeah, high
okay,
speed.
okay.
Because she likes to go fast, but not when she has no control.
Yeah,
God, what a great! You're like a great pilot, though.
That's-
I'd be your goose any day.
It's a,
Well, no, and so she.
that was
nice.
So that was not fun. Especially it's like, oh, we could wind it up. We went out to Cheney, and then on the way back on Cheney Spokane Road, we were, maxed out at like 45 miles an hour. And she's like, I don't like this. I don't like it.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
So she didn't enjoy it.
Michelle gets that way too. Like we were on the mountain bike tandem this Sunday, and we hit like 28 on a gravel road, and she was like, "How fast are we going?"
and you're like 15.
I said 27.
Oh,
You know, I
You knew her threshold, so you
no,
lied.
but we've been 60 on a tandem before. She and I have
Don't
Yeah.
know.
going down Charles.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, not 60, 50. We hit 50.
oh, I was gonna say there's a big difference between 60.
We hit
and
50. We hit 50, and
Still
that was
horrifying.
That is horrifying.
Have you guys ever done 50?
I've
on a
done
bike?
60
On a-
on a bike.
I've
I've
done
never done
60.
60.
I've
I've
done
done 60.
Yeah.
I've hit 60 on a road bike by myself.
Yeah.
What if it was a
I know,
challenge?
by myself? That's the thing. Like I would do it by myself.
What if it was a pack filler challenge where we
To
all
take
had to
our wives?
take your significant other for as short of a ride or as long as a ride? It could be a cruiser tandem to go around and taste wine. It could be an epic
Should
gravel
probably do
ride.
that.
It could be a mountain bike ride. It could be anything like that. But you actually documented a tandem ride with your significant other.
Wow, I would love that.
I sold my cruiser tandem to Jack.
I don't want to have to buy a tank.
Is it a Schwinn
No,
twin?
yeah.
I want to buy one.
I
at the
had
bike
I have a
swap.
road and a mountain, so you guys could we could I know a guy who knows about positioning.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know that much, trust me.
Oh,
I fitted tandem, a couple.
there you yeah.
Man, it's very efficient. Measure, change, go again. Measure, change. It's like you can do 2 bike fits at once. That's great.
That's true.
And you only charge him for one fit.
I know. I need to change that.
Dumbass.
That's
I know.
Really,
At least 1.5.
I know. I don't know. It's a debate here. It's like, well, it's one bike.
Jackson, will Maria do it?
I don't think so. I don't think she would like not being in control, like we talked about, of her own bike. Just because that is a whole other feeling. Not that she doesn't trust me or
Yeah.
anything, but it's just like it's weird not being in control, having to like shift your body weight the same way when
Yeah.
you're turning. It's I
I
don't know.
need to get Michelle down here because she talks about it. She says she watches my shoulders, and she bounces with that, and leans with that. And there are times when when like she'll adjust her position, and the whole bike just moves. It's an interesting standing out of the saddle. We've been on a tandem. We've been riding tandems for 20 years, and we're still shit at riding out of the saddle, climbing out of the saddle. It's so hard to sync that up.
It is really hard, yeah.
It is. All right, shift gears. Who's watching the Olympics?
Lots
Watching
of
some of them.
gymnastics.
Paul's, you just rolled your eyes.
Well, I purchased Peacock, and I
Peacock.
still have problems. Now, my Apple says that it's paid for, but when I log on, it says error on payment. But it allows me to go through and everything.
You don't
So-
want a password?
Yeah, that's right. Just ship
Everything.
password share.
But it's
It's
not worth. There isn't
insane.
anything to watch anymore. So.
U.S. coverage to me is so overly biased.
Well,
It is-
yeah.
It is.
You just got a Echo
Sam.
delivery.
Oh yeah. Do we want to hear? No. It's to me. It is. It's so USA. It's the equivalent of Sam chanting. And I understand
And
that.
you paid for it.
That's your and that's your that's your audience. That's fine, but it's just they show so little of the other countries involved in this. The women's mountain bike race was atrocious. The coverage was absolutely horrible. They did a break in the last lap of the race.
Jesus.
Now, mind you, the race is a little over an hour. You couldn't go commercial free for a fucking hour.
You have to pay an extra $4 for ad free.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But and I also wish there wasn't a overall medal count.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't say USA versus Russia versus China versus this versus the bad guys.
I do. Fuck them.
Yeah. Give me USA.
We came to win with the most athletes. Screw the rest
With
of
the
them.
best
we have
athletes.
more.
We don't have the most gold.
We
have
have
the most
more.
medals.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. It's the
Who has
total,
the most
man.
amount of gold?
Hey, it's the old adage.
Oh,
if
we
you ain't
have to
first,
have
you're
the
last.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women's and men's time trial, first day.
Yeah, I was
Soaked.
confused on the women's. I thought luge was a winter sport.
Yeah.
God, that was a bloodbath.
Chloe being able to
was.
barely walk.
What was the other U.S. woman? She's a triathlete. She went down 3 or 4 times.
Mhm.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
I can't remember. her
I
name.
didn't watch either of them.
So
I watched again. Thank you, TV coverage. I started watching the men's time trial because I got up a little late. Shocker, right? And I was watching the event, and the commentators told me the top 3 of the women's event while I'm watching the men's event. We live in a world where people don't necessarily watch your live coverage. You dipshit. What do you wink?
But you
wincing at?
are watching live television.
No, I wasn't. I was
weren't?
watching, recording of live television. But
There's still
how many people? But we live in a world where live television isn't watched live anymore.
sure.
We have
How many
talked
people are
about
li-
this.
Sure.
LIVE.
It says it in the corner.
But for example, podcast happening right now is live. The percentage of our audience that listens to it live is not the largest part of the audience. They're listening to it later.
Yeah.
So if I were to, I'm trying to find it.
You're too good of a broadcaster, though. You have like a whole degree in this and stuff. A lot of these
but
people
you
were
don't
just like,
spoil other events.
yeah, I know,
And
but I would
You're
have.
telling me a professional broadcaster covering the Olympics isn't a professional broadcaster?
Yeah, a lot of these people are Freds that they brought in. Like, oh, you used to do this sport, right? Let's
Yeah.
go talk about it.
I had a problem with that when they showed me all the results.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm watching Eurosport and I'm watching, where another race is happening, where Anthony McCrossan will say, "Hey, you should watch the other race that's going on right now. We're not going to spoil it for you." Absolutely great race.
If it's a paid app for that, more so than what's happening. I agree with you, like Flow Bikes and all that, where there's that
Yeah.
potential, but not when it's a live. This thing's going 24/7. The Olympics are going on and
Yeah.
on and on. That it's hard to control because
Well, you're
they're
wrong.
trying to get more people to go. Oh, so the women. I got to go see that. I forgot the women's was before. They're trying to create their. That's how
You know
I
what's
think.
But
even
we live in an on-demand world where these things can be seen at any given point in time, and when the Olympics are happening on a time change away from us, you've got to understand that the majority of your audience is not waking up at 4 a.m. Hi, Paul, to watch the first 100K of a classic. They're going to log in later and watch it when they wake up and have a proper cup of coffee. I'm not wrong.
Well, then I have a question. You did record both, and you knew which one was first, right?
Yes. But I'm going to be sexist. I wanted to watch the men's first.
Sure. Okay.
Actually, no. I woke up and the men's was already in progress, so I logged in and watched it.
Okay.
I turned on the TV and watched it.
Sure.
The women's race was on my DVR.
Okay.
And I went, thanks, dipshits.
DVR.
TiVo.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Is that
You know what?
what do they call it now?
Probably
it is a
that, but, like,
DVR. You have that. app
nobody
on your-
knows what that
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just an app.
Digital video recorder.
Yeah, who uses that?
Well,
It's just an
YouTube
app.
TV has an
Yeah.
YouTube TV has
Unlimited
endless
DVR.
storage. Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
You know what? You know what's the coolest thing about all of this?
to teach this
is that my wife
listening.
is currently over there, and she stood out in the pouring rain to watch both the men's and the women's individual time trial. Can you?
She didn't get
think-
hit by a bike flying by. Or
No,
something.
no,
That's
no,
good.
no, no. But like, how cool is that? She has video of all my heroes out riding.
Well, Pat and I will be able to do it this next spring.
Yeah, I know, but like, Would your significant others go stand out in the rain and watch an individual time trial? I'm not trying to bash on your individual.
No,
on your significant others.
but
I'm
she
just
did
saying,
go
like,
to Paris-Roubaix with me and took pictures while I
see,
could
that
scream,
is
so,
really cool.
yeah. So she
Ah.
did the photographs and I was able to go, "Bruh, him, point out,
Him.
let's tore her hoosh off.
Wait. Your wife wouldn't have gone and watched the time trial unless she was married to you. Is that what you're trying to say?
Probably, yeah, definitely. Actually, 100%.
She wouldn't have gone?
No,
My
she
wife
would not
simply
have.
went because of you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. She's amazing.
Now, did she go to take pictures for you, or did
She
she
took
go?
pictures, videos. She cheered for all my heroes. She watched
She
the whole
could have
freaking
said
thing.
she should have just slept in, had another croissant,
She could
and
have.
said she cheered for him.
She was there.
Just stepped out of the shower and
can't
showed her wet
believe
hair.
She was that close to Wout.
His
Do you think some of
watts.
his DNA fell out?
That's what I was hoping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just say don't
His
shower.
watts.
don't
Yeah.
shower.
Give me
Just
that
like
Jimmy.
yeah.
I want to smell what Wout smells like.
I know.
Carbon and pheromones.
Oh my gosh.
Double disc
Double
carbon.
disc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Any
Let's-
surprises coming away from that?
Yeah, I think Wout was a surprise.
Why was a
Yeah,
surprise?
big
Yeah.
surprise.
I was cheering for him. I said like I think it would be close between him and Remco. Yeah, Philippe was good. too.
Filippo,
He did great.
Jesus, do you see him bounce off those rails?
Yeah,
That was scary as hell.
he did great.
Wow.
I tip my hat to him
Is
as
there
much as
ever
I
go-
bashed him.
Is there ever going to come a day in the sport of cycling where we actually, I don't know, change the fencing design that goes alongside courses where the feet don't angle out anymore?
It seems really poor. As somebody who's gone into a fence, this is just not designed to be hit.
As somebody who actually, as somebody
Yeah,
who,
it's
who
the
puts
purpose
on
of
a
fence.
race,
It's there to contain you,
Yeah.
not really soften the blow.
we have
Yeah.
in
Start
my
making walls that way.
in our at the 24-hour race, we have fencing that fits into a flat foot
Yeah,
and has no protruding legs sticking out of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about,
What am I missing here?
you're talking about like it lays
Like
like
a
a
snow
flat piece of
fencing.
metal on the ground.
Yes,
In
with
a
two
road
tubes
race?
coming out of it, you put the fence on top of it, and you're good. Not this fence with this 45-degree angle foot coming
Doesn't
out of it.
stick out like this. The course is going, like it's sticking perpendicular to the course, and it's just flat.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I
it's
mean
a
that is
flat
still better.
piece of metal,
That is
sheet
better.
metal, basically.
That's better, but those are still. I mean, that's what I
Yeah,
wrecked
yeah.
my rim on.
Yeah.
If you hit a piece of metal like that at the like going fast enough, you're just gonna ruin your tire and
Dude,
your rim.
it's thinner than my phone.
It's about eighth
Yeah.
of an inch.
Maybe I don't know what I hit.
Maybe
then.
you're just a
Cracked the
shitty
rim in
bike
half.
rider.
But the design, this is great. We're talking about barriers.
Yeah,
Pretty
this is.
exciting shit.
We're off the rails.
The design of the slope is to allow if somebody does crash into the barriers, they're not the sudden impact when you have it a vertical.
It's a
That
buffer.
that's not a good deal. If you have it here, there's a little bit of a glance, slow down the speed.
The other
that
thing
type
is
of thing.
the ones
Okay.
you're talking about, they allow you to get so close your hands go into the railing. So if it has that slope to it, you're gonna like your wheel's gonna hit before your hands. I've gotten pushed into a barrier, and the first thing to hit was my hand in between the railing.
Put your shoulder in, dude.
I'm not that short, you guys. I can't. I'm
Yeah, you
taller
can.
than a fucking barrier.
Okay. The mountain bike races were good. The Pidcock Pass that will be discussed in French cafes for the remainder of the next 3.5 years will be any theories on the Pidcock Pass? Paul, we talked about Jackson.
about it, yeah.
You and I, Paul,
In the green room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah, I didn't
He's
see
wearing the
any-
medal.
Yeah, and to me, it's like
He's
I
on the
didn't.
metal.
Yeah,
Means it can work.
I kept hearing about it in interviews and hearing that he talked about the people were booing at the finish line, and I thought this got to be
They were.
kind of borderline.
yeah.
Well, can
So
you
I watched the
explain-
finish, and I'm like, I didn't see anything wrong. It was just like, yeah, you're a little pissed when somebody chops you in the corner, but if they get by,
Yeah.
no harm, no foul. It didn't take him out. It would be one thing if he took him out,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but that's, He said your favorite thing.
What?
Rubbing is racing. Yep.
Love that.
Well, and the rider who he also touched, Victor Koretsky, had a just barn burner of an early season. He was wearing
He's a World Cup leader, isn't he?
he was for a little while, and then I don't know anymore. But it was taken away from him pretty rapidly within the start of the season, and he kind of fell back a little bit during some of those races where Pidcock did race, and I kind of think emotionally, I wonder if that's kind of taken a little bit of a toll on him.
How did Peter do?
Peter
didn't
was not
race.
there. Peter has no longer. Peter has
He's
hung
done,
up his
done.
wheels. He has retired completely from the sport of cycling.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Let's
just
not
move
even
on.
mention his name.
Wait,
anymore.
I thought that
It's too
Peter
painful.
agenda was to focus on.
Yeah, you got to
Nope.
get a certain amount of World Cup points to do that.
Yeah,
And Peter didn't do that.
he didn't race a single one of them.
What?
He did not race a single one.
No.
He
Well,
got second.
First of all, he had a heart issue, you insensitive prick. Second
I'm
of
pretty sure
all,
those are made up.
for sure.
But, yeah.
oh my God, can we please provide your email so I don't get these?
The at used.
Yeah.
No, send them all to Pat Bulger at Packfiller.
Yeah, that's my email. Pat Bulger at Packfiller. Let's move ahead. The upcoming road races. I think, and it was interesting again in the proverbial green room, which we should just call that. We should just go live at a certain time and just call it the green room. People can listen to
Going
us.
green.
Yeah.
Is this the green room?
Yeah.
What's
This is the green
Well,
room.
technically, it is a green room.
So do you know what a green room is? Ask these guys.
It's the place you prepare before the show. You know,
I
It's
I
the
thought it was
place
where you,
where
like,
highly
animated
emotional
things.
18-year-olds cry way too much.
And you hear people going, pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Nah, nah, nah,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah.
It's truly, I will say, a normal person's hell.
It sounds
Anyway,
worse than hell.
Jesus.
I'm allowed to say that. I
is there-
majored
I
in
know.
it.
Is there beer there?
No, there's no beer.
Well, then, yeah, that
Unless-
sounds
I
like
bet there
hell.
is-
Might be a
Sounds like
good
hell.
idea.
There might be
Yeah.
in some of the major talk shows, like Kimmel.
And cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the fact that the Olympics, for at least road cycling, is it as big of a deal as, I mean, have we lost something when we went from the Olympics being an amateur status base to a professional status base? I remember precisely like Alexei Greywall winning the Olympic medal, automatically pro contract, automatically making your career. Well, unless you're Alexei. And that was a big thing because it was an amateur-based event. And then we switched it to this, and now at least for the men's pro peloton, is it as big of a deal?
Hang on.
It's
What
still. Oh, okay.
Now,
What are you
Dave,
talking about with the whole, for the listeners who don't know, obviously.
David knows.
Because I know, but like, what are you talking about? There's like an amateur version, and then and then it moves to like a.
No.
What
The
is it?
Olympics-
Here's
the
the
Olympics
deal.
are- go ahead.
It was always an amateur event. You could not have a pro contract.
The Olympics,
The
yes.
Olympics was all 100%.
you could not be paid to do what you do.
all the way up to 1992 in Barcelona. You had to, in fact, the one that we will not mention on the show refused to turn pro early because he wanted to qualify to do the Olympic race. He wanted to be a
Was that
gold
Lance?
medal.
Yes.
So in '96, they said, of course, again, everything about professional. There's national teams that get paid. How is that fair?
Yeah.
That was the catalyst for
Government-supported programs. Yeah.
And now we have pro basketball players, and we have so.
So when did
I bring out the best. It's just like the men's soccer
and
thing.
I'll tell you, just as an older guy, and that dream as an amateur cyclist, and I bet Pat will back me up. That was your focus as an amateur. That was our Tour de France. That even the district championships, it was open to all categories. And if you finished based on your district, the size of your district, I think the year that I tried to race it and didn't got my ass kicked was
Yeah,
the
didn't.
top 7. Then you qualify for nationals.
Okay.
And technically, then you went to nationals, and then they took whatever we qualified, whether it's 3 or 4, and that so you could literally be a Cat 4. That dream is a Cat 4, Cat 3, and just had a hell of a year, and you made it to the Olympics.
84 and 88, Spokane hosted the Olympic cycling trials. And
Yep.
yeah,
I'm fucking with you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I did
It's on
know
the
that.
sticker
Yep.
right there.
Yeah, I did know that.
And I missed the trials by one place. State championships, they took 10. I got 11th that year.
What?
Yeah, and that was our domestic cycling scene has never been as strong as it was in those years when we had the Olympics as an incentive. Sungkyung was a team that came about that was a domestic U.S. cycling team sponsored by a Korean company to promote the Olympics in Korea.
88. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 7-Eleven was a cycling team based around Eric Heiden, who was an Olympic, obviously an
skater.
incredible Olympic speed skater, who then was going to try for the Olympic road race. And 7-Eleven was created through that. And we had, massive amounts of riders from 7-Eleven in the Olympics. We had massive riders from 7-Eleven. And then after the 84 Olympics, they turned pro, went to the Tour de France, and had the success they did.
That would have been 84.
85.
Yeah,
84, 85.
because you had Lexi Graywall.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys even ever thought about it, and that's cool. That's crazy. That's something that
It was
in
in
my life I've never even thought about the Olympics as something that there's this if you make this then you can get this. That's not
Yeah.
something on the table for
Because
us.
it's not an option.
Yeah, and so I think in that regard there is a lot that's been lost.
Yeah.
And so, in our country at least, that's, some countries like New Zealand, I've heard riders say, Olympics and the Tour de France is the only thing they know about road cycling. So if you don't do those, if you said I won Paris-Roubaix, they're like whatever,
Yeah.
or the Vuelta or the Giro,
Yeah.
that means nothing to them. So yeah, it's lost its luster, I think.
Interesting.
So let's look at it. What it provides. Last winter, Richard Carapaz was our last Olympic victor.
How many of you guys remember that?
I remember that.
Did you remember who the reigning Olympic champion was?
Sam?
This year?
He wasn't even listening.
right
From
now?
the last
The
Summer
last
Games.
Olympics.
Was
He wasn't
Richard
listening.
Carapaz.
Yeah. How about before that?
Road was what's the guy that retired that's from Spain, race for Movie Star?
Wrong. Greg Van Avermaet.
Greg Van Avermaet. Who was before that?
Wait, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that he
He won in Brazil.
Alexander Vinokourov was before that.
Mm-hmm.
And he retired right after.
didn't
With
what's
somebody
his
else's
name?
blood in
Who's
his
the guy that
bloodstream.
raced for Movie Star?
Alejandro Valverde.
Yeah. Did,
No,
what did
he wasn't Olympic.
No.
Oh,
He
he's
was the Worlds.
Worlds.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Worlds is, to me, a bigger thing.
I keep thinking of Tadej Pogacar not being there and Tadej going like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I could name
Is
the
the
time
world's
trial
more
champions
important-
better than I could rename the road.
Is the world's more important than an Olympic medal?
I think so.
In cycling.
I think for road, yes. I think that for time trial, no. I think that if you win gold as a time trialist, you are the fastest human, and I think that means something. That's just my own personal.
I
I
disagree.
couldn't agree less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is
No,
no,
couldn't agree more.
indication.
Oops.
The reason there's no one
Couldn't disagree
remembers
more.
it because
There we go.
unless
That's what I
you,
meant.
you
Yeah.
watch the event. So World Championships wear a jersey. So when a World
Yeah.
TT guy,
but you
he
get
wears
gold.
a jersey during that.
You get a
You
gold
have a gold-
bike or a gold band on your sleeve.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing on your jersey can say Olympic.
I love gold. You're
Yeah.
not walking around like gold member.
So,
Yeah.
but if you're world champion, if you're world champion for the rest of your life, you have the bands on the
Yeah,
collar
yeah,
and
yeah.
the Olympic, nothing.
I don't know. You have the gold helmet. And
Everybody
4 years.
who's anybody is at the Worlds every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like you look
Look
at
at
this
this
roster.
list.
This is
Yeah.
not. This
Yeah.
is not the peloton.
Our start list is very limited.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, because of UCI points awarded to specific countries, the rider count is down. The maximum amount we're seeing in what was the women's? Great Britain had
That's
1,
five.
2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the biggest showing of any country. Other countries, the standard is 4, some 3, some 2, some 1. Cycling's a team sport. Tom Squeens is the only one riding for Latvia. what are his chances when we break it down? And when you've got Belgium with Remco Evenepoel, Wout van Aert, Jasper Stuyven, and Tish Benoot.
Who are they? I see a Brandon McNulty, Matteo Jorgensen, and Magnus Sheffield.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, when you're breaking it down to the fact that in a team sport, you're minimizing the effectiveness of the country based upon the fact that they don't have the UCI points. Personally, I'll go out on the limb and say they should allow each country a specific amount of riders, a minimum amount of riders.
Agreed entirely. Also, let's just look at Slovenia right now.
For
so
the
they
dudes?
probably have for the men's. How they probably have the most points because of Tade,
Yeah.
right? Were they able to fill that roster? Because I don't know most of those people. Like they were probably just like, we've got so many slots. Hey, you Cat 4, come on in.
Yeah.
Like
So
they're-
here's the deal. Now, I don't know how much, I retain from hearing about this, but so road cycling and all this, these people are usually kicked out of the Olympic Village. They only have so many beds available.
Cardboard ones, too, I heard.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah,
So-
they're cardboard beds.
yeah.
I hear they're actually pretty strong.
So what happens is athletes, there's so many events and so many athletes that can only provide so much, and they want the whole world. So this is why we see a limited, like only 4 from Belgium, and we got somebody from South Korea. I was going to vote for him because I like his name.
Do you?
Yeah, we
I can't find it. Well, what number is it?
South Korea's down on the bottom.
Down on the bottom.
Kim Euro.
Serbia. Greece. Okay, keep
my
explaining.
God.
Kim Euro.
Kim Euro.
I mean, wouldn't that be great? Somebody named Euro winning in Europe.
No,
Anyway,
it's Euro
Oh,
Kim.
Euro Kim.
Euro Kim.
So-
okay, I got you.
Anyway, so the thing is like as soon as their event's gone, so the no, sorry, I'm not drinking the Privy
pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as their event's gone, they have to open up beds.
Okay.
So that is why some of the sports are, because then archery comes in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just made that
Sure.
up. So
No,
they
yeah,
got to
yeah.
make room for that.
Men's race, 273K with 2,800 meters of climbing, which is 9,000 feet, over 9,000 feet of climbing, and 13 named ascents on, and then there's a 18.4 finishing circuit and in central Paris. The last climb is a kilometer long, averages 6.5% with 9K to go. So we looked at the start list. We've all looked at the start list. For the sake of time, 3 riders. Jackson, who are your 3 choices?
I've picked
Men's or women's? Both.
Let's start with women's.
Oh, okay.
Ladies first. Wow, everybody's turning their pages. I
Uh-huh.
guess yeah.
I picked Lotta Kopecky,
Yep.
Demi Vollering, and Elisa Longa Borghini.
Okay.
Then for the men, I picked Mathieu van der Poel.
Yep.
I picked Wout van Aert, and I picked Remco Evenepoel.
So we're basically going to come
Those are
down to the
terrible
1
picks.
or 2 random riders that the other people didn't pick.
Yes.
Again.
I did.
Sam, USA.
There's
Who are
3.
the women? There are only 2 USA women.
There's Chloe Dygert.
Yeah.
Who is?
I need to
Tade's
know about her.
girlfriend?
I need to know about her injuries.
Ursa.
Urska. She's
Yeah.
not in the,
Urska.
She's not in the race.
Mm-mm.
Zygarde.
Oh.
Urska Zygarde. She's not in the
Oh,
race.
I
That's
thought it was
one of the
Urska
reasons why
Pintar.
Tade's not there.
Okay. Well, then I don't want her. We're gonna go with Chloe Dygert, Ellen Van Dyke, and then Lotta Kopecky.
Okay, guys.
Matteo Jorgensen, Mate Mahoric. I love that guy. I have
Yeah.
a soft spot for him.
I'd love to see him win it.
Yeah, and then Wout. God, I love Wout. I'm like a
Yep.
Wout super fan, like David was Peter.
Okay. Paul?
Women's Kopecky.
Yep.
And I have Vollering, but here's my curveball because there's 9 kilometers to go. Weebus. She's going to be the sprinter to win.
Yeah.
I was.
So men, I never pick Vanderpool. Never. I haven't in the last 3 years. Although I always eat my words because he's very, very good. I go Wout, and then I have 2 dark horses. Alberto Bettiol
Yeah.
and Derek G.
Those are good.
Mhm.
See, and I think those going outside of the just the
Could be a
the
breakaway,
favorites
and
are gonna do it.
everybody's watching the favorites. Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't Derek G not work out for Pat in the tour?
He actually was in the top 10, which
Yeah.
means he did great. He just didn't give me the points for stage wins.
Fair.
By the way, we still don't know your points. And Jackson, one of our listeners,
I'm way ahead of
I
you.
think got more points than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like I beat him.
Shut up, David.
For women, I picked Kopecky, Digert, and Boss.
Oh, God, wouldn't that be cool for Mariana Voss to go out like that?
For men, I picked Remco, Wout, and Matteo Jorgensen.
See that big black thing in front of your face?
Matteo Jorgensen,
There we
Wout,
go.
and Remco.
Okay, there we go.
Matteo.
Hello, Moto. Women, a lot of Kopecky. Elisa Lunga Borghini because I have to. But then I went with an outsider, and Ellen Van Dijk, I think could do something.
I'll
I don't know.
clue
how
you
she's
in.
doing.
She's
not been
just,
doing well.
She had a major crash. She
Yeah.
had like knee and broken arm and that type of thing.
She's coming back.
Well, her first ride was to qualify for the Olympics.
Well, she
Race,
got
I
in.
should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm screwed. Men, Matthew Van Der Poel, Matteo Jorgensen,
Hey.
Good man.
and my total
Wouldn't that be
dark
cool?
horse. My total dark horse is Ben Healy.
I
that's
that is.
not bad.
I would.
Yeah,
I
that
would
would-
have put him,
Yeah.
but
He was
Matteo.
crushing it in the tour
Yeah.
to get,
Yeah.
you know,
That time trial, that first time
Yeah.
trial was incredible.
He's a great rider.
Yeah.
And I
and
think,
on all surfaces, on all flat course,
Yeah.
hilly course,
yeah. So with all these Olympic sports to watch and the passion they have all to succeed, let's get a bit personal. What was a sport that you guys had before cycling was your thing? And do you have something that you can recall from those days? I know Jackson does.
Yeah, I played soccer since I was in kindergarten. So that was, 18.
Sorry to interrupt. Did any of us go straight into cycling, or was there something first?
No, many
Only-
things.
I wanted to when I was 6 years old. There was just
you?
nothing.
Yeah.
I lived
Cycling
in
was
Reardon.
Plan Z. I failed at everything else.
Jackson,
Um,
what do you got? For
yeah, I played soccer since I was in kindergarten all the way up till I was a junior in high school. So that was like 17 years.
Yeah.
It was a long time to be in that sport. It's hard. It's really hard. It's super cutthroat. Team sports don't really get teamy as you get older. So that's kind of a hard part of it. But an interesting story I had from it when you sent out this calling today was I remember when I first really started to switch from what's called Select and Premier. Is there a difference? Not really. Except
One cost more.
yeah,
And more
yeah,
traveling.
yeah.
If you're
And
the parents.
Yeah.
and college coaches come and really look at Premier rather than Select. And so I thought, if I really want to make a bid at this, I might as well go for the next. And little did I know that's kind of what killed it for me. But anyways, I was just really making my way into the Premier of it all. And I was starting the first time. And if you don't know soccer, starting is a big deal because you don't really come off in soccer. You only get, at that time we had as many
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Sam, we got to keep that bench
Yeah.
from flying up into the air.
Yeah.
Sit on it.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Wait there.
That
If
bench
anybody
is
needs
really
water,
Yeah.
you can get them that.
We're in a vortex, and that bench will fly into the air if you don't stay
We're
sitting
gonna play
on
the
it.
quiet game, Sam. Sit there.
Maybe
Continue.
USA.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I was starting for the first time, and I remember I forgot my cleats, which is like the most essential thing.
Is this running the family?
But
Your shoes across the state.
Yeah, but I won that race.
we were also maybe 20 minutes away from
Yeah,
where we
weren't
live,
that far away.
which is really nice.
Did I make him feel guilty about it? Probably.
You weren't there. My very loving mother drove home. She drove home really quickly, and I will get to how that goes. But my teammate, who was like the only really friend that I had on that team, his name was Kyle. I played soccer with a lot of Kyles.
Yeah.
I really love that name. But
Gotta hate you, Kyle.
and that's just personal opinion.
Not you, Kyle.
Yeah.
The other Kyle.
No,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Not that Kyle.
Yeah. One Kyle sucked. The other one was really nice. Anyways,
It's always a win.
he was
3 out of 5 Kyles suck.
I would say this Kyle was about 5'9", and
Seems that he's short.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how tall you are? Are you 5'9"?
No, I'm not 5'9".
5'8".
5'9".
I'm sorry. We're all
No,
interrupting.
you're good.
Keep going.
Anyways,
That's the point of the story.
This guy Kyle was about 5'9", and if you know that I'm not really close to 5'9", and he wore a size 9, and that's rough.
Wow.
And he had another pair of cleats.
He's walking around like one of those birds that you put in front of the cups that dips into the water.
Yeah, he was a little guy.
I could lick my toes and not fall down. Why?
Yeah, he was pretty. He was quite a bit smaller, and so anyways, he lent me. He had another pair of cleats because when you're at this level, you have two pair of cleats for some weird reason. And he lent me his, and I put them on, and I was like scrunched over, like trying to run in these cleats, and I'm getting all stressed out because the game's gonna start, and I'm looking around. Mom's not here, and anyways, I am genuinely 2 minutes away from the whistle blowing, and loving mother shows up, and I had the desired shoes that I was actually able to wear. So that was I know it's not that funny, but that was the story that I could think
I
of.
gave it so much.
I was just picturing you because that in some Asian cultures they bind the feet.
They do. Yeah.
You probably had a little experience of that.
Oh, I'd never put on a pair of shoes that I wanted to take off so quickly. Like 2 sizes is way too small.
Are proper high-end soccer shoes very similar to cycling shoes? In meaning they don't forgive very much. I mean, it's a very stiff sole, right?
It depends
But
on
the
what
leather
you get.
gets supple.
Well, it depends. It all depends now because his were leather, and so they did have some sort of give, but mine were like a synthetic upper with like.
Yeah.
And when they say carbon sole plate, it's not the same. They are very flexy
It does
because you
flex.
have to have that.
Yeah.
You have to have that cutting motion, and it's also super different because they make such different types of shoes. Some are made for high speed sprinting. Some are made for your box to box midfielder that don't move as much but are always running up and down the field. You have some that are just made for
Goalies
defenders.
probably don't need the speed.
Yeah, goalies have typically those like metal studs. It's
Yeah.
it's a whole. I know, Sam, you're falling asleep, but it's a whole thing.
But it's so really okay. No, hey, I have multiple pair of shoes from what I do. What was your sport beforehand, Sam?
Oh, once again, I did everything.
What were you potentially good at that nothing?
What would you answer that for me?
David, what was yours?
Nothing.
Yeah, right? I mean, like, I had nothing. I tried baseball. I was a pretty good catcher, but I hated hitting. So I stopped that. I was literally dodging the ball, and that wasn't even coming close to you. I tried rowing. I was pretty good at rowing, but I'm like, I don't want to get up at 5 a.m.
Really?
That's not for me.
I was a rower.
I did rowing through high school.
Soccer.
Really bad at soccer.
Wow.
Snowboarding.
I was bad at snowboarding. So I will my funny story, because soccer, the things that came to my mind were soccer, and that was something, but football. I think
You played football.
But he found his niche in football.
I found a niche in
He did,
football.
yeah, he found
I was
a
like,
good
I'm a
spot.
football player.
What?
I fit in with these guys.
Center? You
Kicker.
snap the ball? Kicker.
Kicker, that's sweet.
I know.
I'm
They didn't
busting your
have
balls
anybody.
because I was a center.
Yeah, they
It's
didn't
like,
have
Pat,
anybody.
just put the ball between your junk
Yeah.
and give it to somebody else.
Yeah. No, they didn't have anybody, and they were like, you want to try? And I kicked it from the 50 in practice. I could kick it far. So I was
Off a tee.
Yeah, off a tee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but I mean, even in a with a snap from the 40, I was
That's good.
I really wasn't that bad. But my funny story with that was the one time that I tried to stray from that, or I guess 2 times. One of them was me playing wide receiver, oh, you got some height. Let's see how you can. And I'm like, I have pretty good hand-eye coordination. I was played catcher. And they do this slant route across the middle. I go running, turn back, reach up, grab it, come back down, and the safety's right there, and he just stops me. No, he didn't lay me out because he's like, if you weren't our only kicker, you'd be unconscious right now. And I was like, yo, coach, I'm done. And walked off the
Sign of
field.
a good wide receiver. You're willing
Yeah.
to risk it for the catch.
Well, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I don't know how this sport is played. I'm like, oh, cool, free ball. And then I come down and there's a safety in my face. Anyway, the other one was when they were like, okay, not for you. Let's do punting. And I'm like, what's punting? And so they snap it to me, grab the ball, look down, see everybody charging me, drop the ball, and walk off the field. And the coach comes over and he grabs my face mask. He's like, Sam, you stupid piece of shit! I hate you! And I'm just standing there, just like,
I thought you were going to
I
talk
will
about
never do
the,
this.
I thought you were talking about the one time you actually tackled somebody in a field and you got literally knocked the fuck out.
You
There's
sparked
so
out?
many. Oh man, I got up. I'm like, where am I?
I played football for a long time in grade school too,
Yeah.
and it was the same thing. Nobody ever assumes in this country, no adult figure ever steps aside and takes a person by the side and says, "Do you know how to play this game?" Nobody does that.
No.
They assume because it's America, pickup trucks, and fucking your sister,
Yeah.
that we all know what we're doing. And it's bullshit. I had so many coaches who were like, "Oh, Bulger, why aren't you running the slant route? Why, shim sham?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
That's jargon.
Yeah. I mean, one point in time, my father, I was a center. I was the same. I was a center, and I would snap the ball, and I'd stand up, and I'd push the guy down in front of me. I would knock him. I would knock him down because I
did
was
your
a big
job
kid.
then.
That's
I
exactly
shoved
what
him
he's
down.
supposed to do, yeah.
But my dad would say, "Do you know what you're supposed to do after that?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
He says, "Wherever the ball is, run at it." And he was right.
Yeah,
I
but you-
actually got several post-play blocks that way
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I was just tearing down the field after the ball, and somebody get in the way of my friend, and I'd shove him down. It's just nobody ever stops to say, "Hey, buddy, do you know what you're doing?" And it's okay to not know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This country is so bullshit, pig-headed, masculine shit that they're just like, "Oh no, you know what a split route is." It's like, "No, Dad, I
No,
don't.
I don't know
All
what
I know is Sunday mornings you yell at the TV because you're a Cowboy fan."
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's one of those.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just
He's
picking
been
one.
yelling at it for years.
Yeah,
It's-
Paul, what was your sport before you got into this? You did a whole bunch.
I
You did
did
the
them all.
classics.
Yeah, I did football, basketball, and baseball. Baseball started the earliest. I started at 8 years old. The school, small little
Wait, I
community.
take back the fucking your sister comment. That was terrible. I just realized I said it.
Football was one of my favorites. I was a receiver. I was also a long snapper.
Oh,
That's
But I
skills.
learned
That's a hard
how to snap because my dad, when he played football, he was a center, and he showed me how to snap when I was a little kid, and I could basically you're throwing the ball backwards,
Yeah.
so for punters
Yeah.
and some extra points or point after
the guy who gave you the ball, Sam,
yeah.
Oh, is that the one?
That's
that you
Okay.
ran away from.
And there is
Yeah.
a technique to it. There is a
Yeah.
technique.
Yeah.
So and learning some kickers like the stem on one side of the threads and the other, and that you
That
center,
was a
you
question they
sit
asked me.
there. Yeah, see,
I don't. I remember being like, "Well,
What's
if
the
it's just-
threads?
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Where
I
do you
know
want
threads.
this?" And I'm
What's
like,
the stem?
"On there.
yeah.
Put it on there."
What's the stem? Is that where you inflate it?
Yeah, where you inflate it. It's
Oh.
right next to the threads,
Mhm.
typically. So, anyway, so I
See, my dad never told me that.
had nothing to do with my sisters, although I played football.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But Reardon was known for basketball,
Yeah.
and I had no clue when I was a little kid. But all those sports, I would go to World Book and read the crap out of all that and learn. Yeah, World Book is encyclodias. That was my
I know
internet
exactly
back
what
then.
you're talking about,
7
Yeah.
You do?
editions every year.
I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah, they still have them.
Yeah. They haven't heard of internet yet. They're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
So my story is, Reardon is notorious for basketball. At least in my day, they're not so much anymore. We had 5 state championships at the time I was a junior and started on the men's varsity team. But just to digress a little bit, every year you get like a, your basic, you get socks for football, you get jocks and everything. And the school will wash your clothes. You get this laundry bag, knitted bag.
They supplied you with jock straps?
Jock straps.
Used?
What's that?
Used?
Yeah. No, it's all new, fresh. You got to pull out of the pocket. Because there's a couple of guys, I'm sitting there going, I'm not putting my junk in this.
I
and
got
you knew.
Adam Ryerson's
Yeah.
jock. He was a legend.
I've been like, that
What's this
won't
black
fit.
shit? Is that mold?
So what you would do is you would get this stuff. And, every sport you were issued a jock and socks, the basic stuff.
Holy
you had a
shit.
laundry bag and these massive safety pins, and you had a number on it. And you had to weave the safety pin to the opening. And you threw it in a pile, and the janitors would wash your clothes. And
wow.
I didn't have to take stinky jocks and socks to home.
Wow.
So I had my favorite jock that I got, and I had a very successful junior year in football. So I decided to carry that on to basketball.
Fun.
So during practice, we had a scrimmage, and I stole the
Wear a
ball.
jockstrap in basketball?
That was my question. Yeah. You do? Really?
Yes, I did.
You
I wore
did,
boxers.
Or normally,
But you
Everybody,
don't normally.
everybody did.
What?
Everybody.
I
did.
never
Back
did
in the
that.
40s.
Yeah, everybody did.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wore boxer shorts, so I'm not going to be dangling around. You know,
Yeah.
wear your underwear underneath that.
Just might slip out.
Yeah. So anyway, I stole the ball.
He's like a
I'm going down.
soldier over here. They wobble
I mean,
to
I
and
feel
fro.
like back then
You don't have
they
to make
probably
mental
didn't
pictures
sag
about my
so
nuts
low.
being in a jock.
Paul can
Yeah.
tie him
Don't
in
do
a
that.
knot. He can tie him in a bow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all I can see.
Yeah. So anyway, I stole the ball. I'm going down, go to make a layup, and all of a sudden, when I come down, I'm just like, something is wrong with my junk. I scared the shit out of myself. I was like, and the assistant coach is going, what's wrong? Because you can see my face. And I said, I don't know. I got to go to the locker room. I have no idea.
Something's
What
inside of
the,
me.
something. This is
It was one of his
not
nuts.
good. And I slowly took my shorts down, thinking that my testicles fell off my body or something. The jock had actually snapped when I jumped up. So I was I was total commando underneath that thing.
That's what you thought was so wrong?
Yeah, because I'm so used to the support, but then I have like
you
dangulations
you
banging
wear a
against
doc-
like clanging bells between my thighs.
Do you wear a jockstrap now? Like I
No,
feel like you
no,
can
I
use
don't
it
have
now
business.
more than
I
ever.
don't have one because I wear, well,
He just tucks it into
there's
his sock.
so many different products nowadays you youngsters got,
Yeah.
So, so back in my day.
Actually, I use the rubber band that comes with the broccoli.
So what I couldn't figure out was
Jesus.
the big thick one. The blue ones,
Holds it right up there.
It says Jolly Green Giant on it.
Can you stretch it? Nope.
No.
I still use it.
Oh, no.
One and done.
Oh god, that escalated so fast.
So anyway, because I am who I am, I'm thinking, why in the hell did that happen? Well, the janitors use a lot of bleach with the little teenage boys with their socks and jocks.
Amen. As they should.
Yeah. So when I pull it up, the supporting section has like big lycra tubes and stuff and it was shredded. I'm thinking I didn't even pop a boner in that thing. Just went boom, just for a layup.
God, imagine if you would have dunked it.
I know.
Probably would have killed someone.
Oh, Jesus. I'd be hung up on there with my nuts on the rim.
Jesus.
Oh,
So that's my story.
He wins.
Yeah, I got nothing.
David,
I wouldn't want to follow that.
what brought you to cycling? I haven't even gone.
Before cycling, I
I say, don't ask me to tell you stories because I got a shitload of bad ones.
it's a good one.
No, you don't have to tell a story. You just tell us the sport that you went into. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
We
mean, for me,
understand it.
before cycling, it was soccer. I played all through high school. And then I would play indoor and rec leagues all the way up until med school. And the only reason I didn't play in med school was because I didn't have friends in the beginning. And and then by the time I made friends, I moved, and then I'd move again, and then I came back here, and I've just never gotten back into it. But
Or found friends.
or found any more. All my friends left.
Yeah.
Me. They're still here in Spokane, but they left me.
We're just here for the medical advice.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they were here for too. But but for me it was soccer up until cycling, and I think it's kind of funny because I hated the aerobic side of soccer. I loved the aggression, which you might find. I don't think a lot of people would take me to be an aggressive person, but like I still think about. There was multiple people that I like legitimately accidentally hurt, and I still think about them.
Where'd you play? What position you play?
Center for club, and then center back for.
You were a center back. That's crazy.
That's the thing, y'all.
He was the water boy. He just
you
poisoned
were-
their
no, no,
water.
no.
Yeah.
He was good. He
Here's
was a
the thing.
brick
You guys
shithouse.
all give me crap for being tiny. My whole life, I thought there was something wrong with me because I kept hurting people in soccer.
Well, it's
Well,
because I'm at their
they
knees.
are all tiny.
You're a scrapper.
Were they tiny? I have no idea. Like I
Soccer
kept
players are little.
well,
Well, you're biting
They're
their
both-
knees, man, because that's where your face attacks.
What about me? Center backs usually are like that 6'4", built like a
Yeah.
brick
Yeah.
shithouse
Yeah.
type of player.
So you were up for it.
That's-
you're a tough bastard.
I always wanted to play football.
He's
to be
scrappy,
honest,
yeah.
But I just stuck with soccer. But yeah, I mean, I think it's funny that I ended up. I still remember I did the STP. That was like the first bike ride our dad ever made us do. And then I missed like part of a soccer tournament because of it. And I was like, man, cycling sucks. The STP sucked. I was like crying in a shower because it was like 200 flat miles or whatever.
Yeah.
And I
You
was
chafed your ass.
I
off.
chafed my ass off. I go play a soccer tournament. After that, like I caught the last day of it, and I scored my first goal because I used to just like be strictly defense, and then I moved to center back or midfield, and then I scored one goal, and then I scored two more in that game, and then every like for a month after that, I would score 3 goals a game,
Yeah.
and I was like, cycling might be good for soccer.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
I should do endurance. And there was just like this weird balance from then on with where I would be like, I should ride my bike so I can be good at soccer. And then I was like, you know what, maybe I should ride my bike.
Yeah.
Instead, it's better.
I'm just
He's
glad you
always
did.
been
I'm glad you
annoyingly
didn't.
good at things.
I'm glad you didn't link the benefits of cycling with your chafed asshole. You know, and say, hey man, I'm better at soccer because I chafed my asshole.
Whoa, yeah.
Because that's what your brother said, and I had several questions when your brother just randomly, and we all let it go. That Sam, you just out of nowhere went, yeah, you chafed your asshole.
Well,
You did a 200-mile ride as an 8th grader.
But did he show it to you? How do you know this
No,
information?
I did it too.
Hey, bro, check it out.
And it was horrible. I was crying in a
have,
shower.
Do you have a salmon
Same
ass
shower.
like
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, same shower.
brother?
Same shower, tears.
We would stay at the same family.
Yeah.
We would stay at the same family member's house the night after, and I distinctly remember laying in the shower, just like, what the fuck is wrong with
My
my
ass is
body?
on
Why
fire.
I can't move either leg?
and
raise
our father.
your head if you hate dad.
Maybe the water will feel
And
good.
he's like,
Oh
I'm
no,
gonna
it
do this to the
doesn't.
next child too.
That was me with my nipples after the marathon, but that's
Yeah.
another story. My
Stop shaving.
sports were, I did a whole bunch of other things too. I was football in grade school, and I was not good at football because nobody ever
Sounds
told me
like
how to
you're
play.
pretty good.
I don't know. I quit. I mean, as soon as 8th grade ended, I didn't play in high school. I was not going to play in high school. The irony was that I blew out my knee on a football field as a freshman, but playing flag football. Somebody swept my knee. But I was a ski racer. That was my thing when I was young. I was a downhill ski racer, and and that's how I found cycling, because my coach said, "Yeah, you could shed a few kilos."
That's right.
He tried to be nice about it, and my dad was like, "All right, we're gonna get you on the bike." And then eventually, my dad said, "You got to pick a sport because I can't afford the 2 most expensive sports on the face of the earth." I do wish I could have gone back or could have continued with rowing. I loved rowing. I did it in college.
Do you want to be the 4th? Looking for a 4th.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 other guys. And me.
I was a major rower.
What position?
in college? I stroked.
You can be stroke. I will be the back.
Okay. I loved it in college. Is there a sport you guys would go back to if you could, if cycling wasn't available,
Rowing.
what would be the sport you go back to? Sam, you rowing? Jackson, would you go back to anything? Or
I really think I could be an amazing midfielder,
yeah,
but Is that really how it would
So
be?
you would join the local indoor soccer
Oh, yeah.
league?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
because everybody
David
there.
wants to.
I would go back to soccer in a heartbeat.
Would you?
I just need a team. Yeah, I need somebody because I never set it up. I would be on like 2-3 teams at a time.
Yeah.
People would just like I would be on teams and I wouldn't have to do anything. And now I have to like seek it out so I don't do it.
Cycling's so tough that way. I mean, so not tough that way. You can go like our Olympic rosters. You could go and kind of weasel your way and be tactically in the race, but you can't show up by yourself at a soccer match.
Honest to God, if we do it this winter, I would 100% do the indoor.
Can I be your keeper?
Oh my God, that's the hardest. You can never find a keeper. You'll be the keeper.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Sweet.
I'll
Sounds
suck.
great. Put him in.
I'll suck.
Yeah.
That's great.
Paul, you want to play soccer?
Fine,
No.
I'll try to get in the field.
No, I like my ACL.
I know Sam does.
Right
No,
where
I
it's
do
at.
not. I will not. No.
Is there a sport you could
Kinsey
play,
will.
Paul? If
Yeah.
you
There,
if you could,
it's just,
3,
cycling's
4.
the only one at my age. That's the only thing that's
yeah.
legitimate. But
It's either
there
golf
was a
or mall
time-
walking now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
golfed. I've made a hole in one once. I don't know if I
That's
told you guys
amazing.
that story,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah. So golf, yeah, I probably could return, but the one that I thought about doing is baseball because I used to pitch
Yeah.
and play and
I do
left
that.
field and stuff. I mean, I did enjoy playing baseball because it is a slow moving chess. I mean, it for
Yeah.
most people that don't understand, it is very strategic. But
Thank you, all of you, for not saying running.
Never.
oh, that
that.
sucks.
Never.
Fuck that.
Never.
I think
I will never.
this winter, I think I'm gonna cross train and do a little bit of running.
Great.
You're
You got a
dead
partner
to
that's
me.
gonna help
You're
you
dead
out
to
on
me.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
also a lot of the pros do it too.
You're
so.
dead to me.
The other one the other one I would throw in is climbing. I used to climb a lot, like gym climb mostly, not outdoor climbing. And I think that's really good for cyclists.
Yeah.
You
Because
used to have like an upper body.
I used to climb a lot. I used to be like a halfway decent climber. And then it's just one of those things that like, do you
Use
want
it or
to
lose it.
climb?
Be good at
Yeah.
everything.
Do you want to climb or ride your bike? I'll ride my bike.
Yeah.
So.
No, I see it, and I get to the point where there are other sports I'd like to pick up. I'd like to pick up proper cross country skiing. I'd like to pick up.
You talking about skate?
Don't you tease me with
Oh,
a
I'd
good
like to do
time.
skate. I'd like to skate.
Yeah.
I would like to do actually telemark and stuff like that because
Telly's dead.
I know my way around downhill. I know my way around downhill. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a pretty fucking good downhill skier.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
expand your horizon.
Yeah, and I'd like to try something different, but I don't
I
want
got
to pay.
skis.
I don't want to pay for season passes or day
There
passes
is no
anymore.
season pass. Once you buy a pass for the car,
Yeah,
it's the whole car. It's as many people as you want to take.
but
up.
I
You
don't
can
want
go
to
with
drive
me.
all the way there and go for an hour.
You're not gonna want to go for more than like an
See,
hour and a half.
That's my thing. That's my thing.
No, I guarantee
It is a lot of work
It's
for-
a lot of work.
Yeah.
You get done, you're like,
But I mean, that's the deterrent for me for cross country is that like you spend 2 hours in the car for
Yeah, for
90
1 hour.
minutes,
Yeah.
an hour to 90
Yeah.
minutes of exercise.
That's
I'm gonna-
exactly right.
I'm going to preempt everybody's segments tonight. I don't know if anybody had any segments. Did anybody have any segments tonight?
Sure.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, I had
You
some
did?
stuff written down, but if you don't want to do it, we don't
Let's
have
do
to
it next week because we're almost 90 minutes in. Yeah.
My jock story took up too much.
God,
Oh,
you
what
guys.
a
No,
great
I think
story.
I think that's so. There's some of the fun things. So let's hit our final segment. First, everybody, be sure to like and subscribe. It truly helps our Power Drops review on the podcasting platform. And I was supposed to mention Untapped Maple tonight, and here I am at the end of the show, so I'm going to do that at the beginning of the show. Big thanks to Untapped Maple. Pure, clean fueling with the benefit of Vermont maple syrup. Oh, man. God, there was something that I had with Untapped the other day, and it was freaking brilliant.
so good. I just put it in another order.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing. Like that's
Oh,
what keeps me going.
It's so good.
Man,
I wake
you're-
up in the morning and I'll have that before I go on the morning ride.
And this
So
is a
good.
completely unrandom. I'm making more scratch cookies tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
Wait,
gonna do that.
tomorrow? Why not?
Yeah.
Why didn't you make them today?
Because you'll be here. You won't be here to eat them.
I only worked like 3 blocks away. I'll just.
That's
come
true.
over.
That is true. So should we get to the outro and the final K?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Outro, final K. There we go. Gentlemen, if there's a sport in the Olympics that should not be in the Olympics, or a sport that should be in the Olympics, What should it be? You can pick one or the other. For example, I haven't seen breakdancing yet, but are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. That and anything with horses. I have a problem with the horses. I think the horses are being dramatized by traveling them all over the country. That's my sport. Jackson?
I was gonna say the horse dancing because really, who deserves the medal?
Dressage? Yeah, the horse deserves
The horse
it.
deserves the medal. It's
Yeah.
not the person. Oh,
Yep.
you rode it? Cool.
Cool. Yeah. Sam?
Table tennis.
It's cool if you watch it.
It is cool, but like,
You ever hit a ball coming at a teeny tiny ball coming at you 100 miles an hour?
Yeah. Unless
You
you're
ever done that,
Paul,
Sam?
unless you're the guy trying to defend Paul in the basketball game.
Yeah.
It's called a callback.
That's
joke.
fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah,
enough.
yeah. You got another?
No, that would be it. Just ping pong. I don't think that belongs in the Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of.
Scratch break dancing and bring back poetry. That used to be an Olympics issue.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
David?
I had to look up a list, and I just saw one that I thought was really dumb, and now I lost it. Gosh darn it. Triathlon.
No!
Oh, that is. Oh, I lost it. It
What
is
was-
a very common sport, triathlon.
What was the email that you said earlier? Just a random email that doesn't really exist that people can send their complaints to?
Pat Bulger.
Pat Bulger at
Yeah,
Packfiller.com.
Packfiller.com.
Send them to that because that
Yeah.
is mean.
Yeah.
That is mean. Although the
Nobody
river,
wants to
we do
see
all
it.
it might
man.
not
We
happen.
do all agree.
Nobody wants to see it. That's my
Yeah,
that's my
triathlon
argument.
is
Keep it in the closet.
You guys are assholes.